After my dad passed away, I thought the silence he left behind would be the only thing I'd ever hear again. But then, my stepmother made a request that quietly unraveled the pain, and in its place, I found love. Grief changes the shape of your world. It rearranges the furniture of your heart. It makes familiar things look foreign, and strangers feel like echoes. I returned to the house I grew up in with a suitcase full of sorrow and a heart too tired to carry it all. Dad had gone in his sleep. No warning, no goodbye. Just a note on the fridge reminding us to pick up milk. And then, nothing. Linda, my stepmother, moved through the house like a shadow, quiet, graceful, always careful not to disturb my grief. She'd only been in our lives for a few years, marrying Dad after I'd already moved out. I never resented her, but I never really let her in either. 3 days after the funeral, while the flowers were still fresh and the food untouched, she knocked on my door. "Emma," she said softly, her voice the sound of a door creaking open, "before you go, can I ask you something?" I looked up, my eyes swollen with sleep and sadness. "Would you stay? Just for a little while. The house feels too quiet without him. And there's someone I want you to meet." I didn't know why I said yes. Maybe I was too tired to say no. Maybe I just needed someone to need me. The next morning, I found him standing in the garden. A man with windswept hair, sun-dusted skin, and eyes the color of unanswered questions. "Emma," Linda said gently, "this is Lucas. He was close to your father. Helped him manage the property. He's like family." Lucas turned to me, his gaze deep but not intrusive. "I'm sorry for your loss," he said quietly. And I swear, it felt like he meant it for more than just my father. There was a gravity to him, not heavy, but honest. The kind of presence that doesn't fill silence, just honors it. At first, we barely spoke. He kept to his tasks. I kept to mine. But we shared moments, quiet ones. Like the time I found him fixing the old gate my dad never got around to repairing. Or the morning I caught him reading my father's journals beneath the birch tree. "He wrote like he was trying to leave pieces of himself behind," Lucas said once, not looking up. "Maybe he was," I replied, and for a second, it felt like we weren't strangers anymore. There's something that happens when two people are grieving in the same house. The silence becomes a language. The air carries more than dust. It carries memory. One evening, as twilight spilled gold across the walls, Lucas sat across from me at the kitchen table. Linda had gone out, and the house felt hollow again. "You remind me of him," he said. "Your eyes. The way you stay quiet when you're angry." "You didn't even know me before this," I said, smiling gently. "No," he replied. "But I listened to the way he talked about you." His voice wrapped around me like a blanket I didn't know I needed. Days passed like pages, slow, heavy, filled with underlines I didn't understand. And slowly, I began to feel the ache lessen, not disappear, but soften. Lucas and I began to share space more freely. He taught me how to fix a leaky faucet. I taught him how to make my dad's favorite coffee, black, strong, with a single sugar cube. And one night, on the porch, under a sky littered with stars, I asked him a question that had been waiting on my tongue. "What broke you?" He didn't flinch. "A girl," he said. "Or maybe I broke myself trying to keep her. I gave her all the pieces of me I hadn't even learned to love yet. She left, and I realized I never really knew who I was without her." I swallowed the lump in my throat. "What about you?" he asked. A man who made me feel like I had to earn his affection, like I was a guest in my own love story. Lucas leaned back, looking up at the moon. "We're both learning to love from scratch, aren't we?" I nodded. "Maybe that's the only way real love starts," I whispered. "From nothing but the truth." Linda handed me an envelope the next morning. Your father wanted you to have this, he said, only when you're ready to see love for what it is. I opened it with trembling hands. It was a letter, written in Dad's distinct, looping handwriting. Emma, if you're reading this, I hope you've forgiven life for the things it stole from you. I hope you've found someone who sees the quiet parts of you and doesn't run. Someone who holds your hand not just when it's soft, but when it's trembling. Linda knows. She'll help you find what I couldn't say in words. Tears spilled before I could stop them. I didn't know it then, but that letter had unlocked something in me. The permission to feel again. To try again. That night, I walked to the garden, where Lucas was trimming the wild vines from the fence. Hey, I said, standing in the warm hush of dusk. Can I tell you something? He turned, the last glow of sun softening his features. I'm scared, but I think I might be falling for you. His breath caught. I've been waiting for you to say that, he said. Because I already did. And then he reached for me, not like someone claiming, but like someone coming home. His kiss was patient, a whisper across my lips, a vow wrapped in silence. We didn't rush. We stitched our days together like patchwork. Small things, coffee, rain, old records, walks past Dad's favorite fishing spot. I told him stories I'd never told anyone. He shared dreams he hadn't dared to voice. And somewhere between late-night talks and early morning glances, I realized love had returned. Not loud, not wild, but honest, earned. Months later, on the anniversary of my father's passing, we stood beneath the birch tree in the backyard. Lucas held my hand, his thumb tracing soft circles across my palm. He would have liked you, I whispered. I hope so, he replied. Because I'm not going anywhere. Grief emptied my world, but it also cleared the space where something beautiful could grow. Love didn't come roaring in like a fire. It came quietly, like a tide returning to a forgotten shore. And all it took was a simple request from a woman I barely knew and a man I didn't expect. After my dad passed away, I thought the story was over, but it was just the beginning of the most beautiful chapter of all.